Here's something a little different. I wanted to take the time to make a different kind of video before I really start going hard into doing everything else I wanted to do. And I just kind of wanted to do like an art positivity kind of video where I'm just talking just kind of like about my art and like how like, just positivity. I don't know. It's a good thing to talk about, especially when you're not feeling great, just to kind of like make sure you're going to be great. And I wanted to talk about kind of like unique styles. As someone who has always had like a unique style, it's been a journey really being comfortable with it. Because like, look at my style. Look, look at this, look at her. It's different from a lot of the styles you see online. And a lot of that is purposeful. When I started art and when I started drawing, I wanted a style that set me apart, not just because I wanted to be different from everybody else, but because it's what I enjoyed doing. I liked drawing things in my own way. I didn't want to draw something that someone else created. I wanted it to be wholly mine. And even if it turned out bad, then it's something that I would be able to call mine and call my own. Culminated in something that I now am really proud of. I'm proud of everything I've ever made, even if I don't really like it that much, because I can truly call it mine, because it's my own. It's my own characters, it's my own world, it's my own way of seeing life in my world and my thoughts. And it's a style that I love, right? But it wasn't like always like that. It was a real battle, really just kind of like becoming comfortable with my style and how I draw things, especially growing up on the internet, drawing in the age where DeviantArt was like one of the most popular art avenues, where Amino was a big thing, and it's like people are posting things on Discord groups and stuff like that. And it's just like all these social media platforms where posting OC art was considered like weird and cringe at the time. So not only was I uncomfortable with my style at the time, but I was uncomfortable with the type of art I created, because it was the type of art that pretty much everyone saw as weird and cringe and just kind of like not worth posting. So it fed into the cycle of me having this really negative self-image of my art. But like, to me personally, I enjoyed my style. I had fun. It was really fun to me. I loved the way I created. I loved the way I drew my eyes, because like back in the day, like I didn't draw my eyes separately. I drew them together, like this one kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog blob thing. And to me, that wasn't weird. It was normal. Inspired by, I had a friend at the time online, and she had this one image of just our friend group together, and our eyes were drawn together like that. And I was like, she was my art inspiration at the time, so I wanted to emulate her style as much as possible. So I did for like most of my art career up until like 2023. Really, I didn't change it because I enjoyed drawing like that. I thought it was fun, and I only do what I do now because I find this to be a lot more fun than doing that. And it's just this constant evolution of my style that I have always really loved and adored, that I'm able to grow and progress. But for the longest time, the art I created and the uniqueness that I had, people didn't vibe with. People didn't like that. And it put me in a position where I didn't feel comfortable posting a lot of my art, because I knew a lot of people found it weird and a lot of people wouldn't care about it because it's too unique and because it's personal to me. Even though I would post it, I had this stigma in my head that because it's original character work, that people aren't going to like it. And because it's not an existing IP, people are not going to like it. So it was like, no matter what I do, people would not like what I created, because it ended up being what I created. But I still enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Again, recently, within the past year, I have been finding out how untrue that is. And I think that's something a lot of artists like myself, will have to unlearn through time. I started selling art at the art store that I currently work at. It's called Passion Project. I'll link it in the description. I haven't said much about this story, and I was going to when it was our anniversary the other week, but I guess now is as good a time as ever. When I was interviewing for Passion Project, I was like, basically quick TLDR on what Passion Project is. It is a community art store full of 30+ local artists, and each of us have our own distinct styles. And when I found out about Passion Project, I was like knee deep in figuring out how I'm going to make this art thing work, because this is my goal. This is like my end goal. My end goal is to make an animated series of my characters, of my work, and make a animation studio where people can pitch their series ideas to my studio, and then we'll just have like an independent studio that greenlights different people's projects and has it out there. We have a team and it's great. That's what I want to do. So like I applied to Passion Project when it was new. It was like just starting up really, and hadn't even opened yet when I was going by there. I applied and I got an interview and I met the owner, and then that whole week I was trying to think of ways to destigmatize my style, take the weirdness out of my style, take the me out of my style, because I have been trained by the internet really that people don't really care for the things that I make. So if I'm interviewing for this cool new professional art store, then I'm gonna have to take that out. I'm gonna have to be more serious. But I didn't do that to the level I thought I needed to. So by the time I was ready to interview, I was woefully underprepared in my mind. And if it was an interview with anyone else, I would have been definitely. Because I am so... She asked me what I did for fun, and I was just, I like walking. And I sat down to show her my art, and I heard something that I was never expecting to hear from anyone for a long time. And she said, I was looking for someone exactly like this. And like thinking about it makes me want to cry a little bit. She had wanted someone who does the type of stuff that I wanted to do. She wanted someone who does characters. She wanted to do something unique and original. That is what she wanted. She was looking for that. And that is what I provided. That was who I was. And instead of making something that I didn't end up actually being, someone who was completely inauthentic to myself, I brought my true self and the art that I loved making, and someone loved and adored that. And Lydia has become one of my closest friends, just kind of like regardless. Whenever I mention Passion Project, I mention how authentic and real the owner is, and that no matter who you are, what type of art you create, you are welcome, whoever you are. And that was the first real time that I felt that kind of love for my style. And it's like, yeah, I've had like friends and family who are like into my style, and I am incredibly grateful for that. But in that moment, that was the first professional time that I have seen someone interested in my work, and it threw me over the moon. Basically, all that to say is people care about your work. People care about the things you do, no matter how much you trick yourself into believing they don't. They do. Your style isn't too unique. Your ideas aren't too out of the ordinary. You are not too weird to be yourself and for people to like what you create. The trouble sometimes, and a lot of times for us like original character artists, and for us with original stories that we want to put out into the world, the problem comes from finding those people. And for me, I found those people a year ago, and I have been drawing for over half of my life now. Like, seriously, the issue isn't you and the things that you love, it's the people. It's finding the people that will love it. And I guarantee that there are people out there who do love it. You just have to find it. And that journey to get there is really difficult, it's really hard, and it's something that I have dealt with my entire journey as an artist, and I'm still unlearning that behavior inside of me that was telling me to dislike my art, dislike the things I create, and make other things that I wasn't happy with creating solely for the fact that more people will like it, people will care, and people will find you. All you have to do is be yourself, be the things that you create, and then go out there and find people. Because sometimes they'll find you, sometimes they'll just kind of like go and scout you out, but that doesn't happen all the time. So if you want to do the things you want to do, if you want to have the style you want to have and create the things that you want to create, sometimes you do really have to go out and search for that. Be the harbinger of your own life. People will start to rally around you just because you're you. And that's what I'm finding is happening with me. It's like people are starting to like my characters and like the things that I create. And within like the past year, I have gotten like a lot of comments about my characters and just kind of like how cool they are and how important of a message that they are. And it is something incredibly fulfilling to see. But I had to find that. I had to go out and find that, and just won't happen on its own. So that's the challenge for y'all. Go out and find someone. Maybe just one person. Just tell someone about your story. Tell someone about your characters. Tell someone about the things that you love. Because I promise you, I 1,000,000,000% promise you, someone out there is gonna love it too. And it is a fantastic feeling. So just know, if you are in a place where I was and where I am getting out of, know that that's not forever, but you have to look for it. If no one else has it, I think your style is cool. I would like to see it. So if you are ever uncomfortable with yourself and with your style, come to me. I will gush all over it. Once again, texting anxiety. I'll send a voice memo. Or do something, I don't know how that would work. But don't stop loving your style because you don't think anyone else would like it. 1, people will like it. 2, you gotta love yourself and your style. But yeah, positive energy surge. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna make more of these. These are good for me to get out there. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I'll see y'all next week.